So what are OLTP and OLAP systems and how do they fit in with the unified namespace? A lot of companies, when they try to figure out how they should build their architecture, spend a lot of time about thinking about what exact database type do I need to go? Is it MongoDB? Is it timescale influx? Whatever. What I think really helps is taking a look at the two base categories of databases. So first are OLTP systems, online transaction processing systems. And these systems are designed for routine transactions, like when you go shopping. So every supermarket has an OLTP database where they have the current inventory, for example, of their milk. So every time you go there and the cashier goes there and scans a pack of milk, there is a small transaction that will reduce the inventory of the milk by 1. Very simple transaction, but there will be a lot of them. The other type of database are OLAP systems, online analytical processing systems, where the target is not a lot of simple routine transactions, but instead to have all the data there in a big data warehouse. What you have then there is you have all the small information pieces that you gather doing routine transaction. For example, let's take the pack of milk example. You scan a pack of milk, and then you would have like a timestamp, and it would say pack of milk was bought, and you would have really a lot of data there, like terabytes, petabytes of data. And then there would be a business analyst coming in and it would be like, okay, what's the perfect time for people to buy milk, or what's the ideal price? And then they would do like long running transactions on those databases. So there are two different groups for entirely different purposes. And I think this really helps a lot of people to really decide what to go for. So an OLTP database, for example, is everything SQL-based, Postgres, etc. So if you have something that or most ERP and MES systems, they have just an OLTP database in the background. But if you think about Snowflake and stuff like this, it's always for analytical purposes. It's not to control the production. That, I think, is already really helpful. And now, what does it have to do with the unified namespace? See, if you take, in the very traditional sense, how those databases need to be connected. So you have an ETL process, extract, transform, load. So very traditionally, this is all 90s to 2000s technologies here, you would do a daily or end of week, like a nightly job that takes all the data from the OLTP databases, so all the transactions where milk was bought, and would push it into OLAP database so that there the business analysts can work with it and try to improve the pricing, whatever. And then over time, business analysts were like, I don't want to have like a nightly job. I want to have it in near real time. So what they did was they started, so instead of like duplicating the whole database, they started developing tools. I think it was around 2012, 2010, where Kafka came up. So they were developing tools like Debezium that would take a look at the databases, would subscribe to all the changes, would then push it into Kafka, and from Kafka it would go into OLAP databases. So there you would have then in Kafka a continuous stream of change events. And this is already very, very similar to the unified namespace, to a message broker architecture, and it can also be used as such. So also in a message broker, you also have every time there's a change event, or in general in an event-driven architecture, every time there's a change event, you can take the data, you have the data there in real time, and you usually push it somewhere else for analytical purposes. So that was the difference between OLTP and OLAP databases and how they fit in with the unified namespace, or how they can be used to explain unified namespace architecture. So thank you for watching, and if you like this content, feel free to check out all the other stuff that we are doing here. Just check out the description and you will find there links to YouTube, to our blog articles, podcasts, and all the other stuff that we have.